Hi, I'm Alana. Welcome to another video. In today's video, we're doing a get ready with me for church. So, lately I've been thinking about fame and how, it's not so easy to get fame that lasts. Think about people who have, people who've been doing YouTube their whole lives, like Emma Chamberlain or my fam, and so they are both able to afford to live off it basically, because I think my fam has been doing YouTube since she was 7, and because of that we've grown to love them over their journey, whereas there are some people who they've gotten fame really quickly and really easily, like the Hawk Tour girl. And I feel like those kind of people, we don't really value and appreciate their fame as much. I've been thinking of this in relation to myself, because I've been doing YouTube for 2 years and I don't even have 500 subscribers yet. But I was thinking actually, I feel like it's about the process, the process of getting popular. The journey is what makes people love you, right? Because think about nepo babies, as we call them, Lily Collins, for instance. So if you don't know, Lily Collins, her dad is Phil Collins. And so I feel like with people like that, nepo babies who've had kind of a head start in their fame, we don't really value and appreciate and love them as much, right? As we do people like my fam and Emma Chamberlain, because we've known them for the whole journey, and I feel like that makes us love and appreciate them more. So yeah, those are just my thoughts for today. I do have some book recommendations for you. So this book is called Orbital by Samantha Harvey, and so this book is it's a fictional book about 5 or 6 astronauts that go into space, and so it follows their journey into space, and it's so detailed. I'm not sure if this person has actually been to space, but you could definitely be forgiven for thinking she has been to space because of the level of detail that she includes. And so she writes about what it's like being an astronaut in space. Where is my bronzer? And orbiting the Earth, and oh, it's here. And the perspective that gives you, she's in space with these 5 other astronauts, and they're watching the world turn from space, and they can see Europe, and then they can see China and all of the different continents, and they watch a cyclone pass over one part of the world and from space, and they all they have to do everything together, and also they're all floating the whole time because they're in space, and so they share about the unique intimacy that you develop with the different people who you're in space with, and how when you return to Earth, there's nothing that you can compare to that experience, and so you feel uniquely close to these people who you went to space with. And then one of the astronauts, her mum dies while she's in space, and so she's trying to process her grief while also trying to focus on being an astronaut and being in space, and she's going to miss her mum's funeral because they will still be in space. But yeah, it's only 100 pages, but it's such a beautiful book. It was in the top 10 in readings. So that's Orbital by Samantha Harvey. The next book that I want to recommend to you today is called Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom by Dr. Christian Northrop. And so this book is obviously huge. It's like 700 pages or something. It's actually 978 pages. So I haven't finished it yet. I'm only like 200 pages in, but it's so detailed and comprehensive. And so she has a chapter on like menstrual cycle and how as women we are guided by the moon. And so she talks about like how you can resolve all kinds of menstrual cycle related ailments like PMS and like endometriosis. And she talks about how if you are experiencing migraine like headaches on the first day of your period, that is often because of caffeine. Like that's often because you have to cut back on caffeine or cut out caffeine. And so yeah, and she has a whole, I'm not at it yet, but she has a whole chapter on breasts. Like it is the most detailed and comprehensive piece of literature about women's bodies that I have ever come across. It's so impressive and so helpful. Like she talks about how, she talks about the chakra system and how women, we like have, you know, chakras, like spirals of energy. So women, we spiral like inwards. So we draw, like energetically, we draw things towards us. And so, yeah. And also we carry a lot, like emotionally, energetically. We carry everything, you know, like think of children when they want to give you like a gum wrapper or some rubbish, they always give it to their mum. They don't give it to their dad. So she talks about like the emotional and spiritual consequences of carrying everything for everyone all the time. And yeah, like I said, I'm only 200 pages in, but it's an excellent book and I would highly recommend it. So Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom by Dr. Christiane Northrup. And so, I would also like briefly to touch on an interview on the Sean Ryan show that I listened to the other night with the most impressive woman. Her name is Annie Jacobsen, and she is an American investigative journalist and author, and she writes about nuclear war. So she wrote a book called Nuclear War, A Scenario. Haven't read it yet, but I've ordered it because she was like the most fascinating interview I've listened to in memory. And so she talks about like, because she writes about nuclear war and what would happen, like, but based on her research and based on like factual evidence of like what we know about nuclear war and nuclear weapons. Like for instance, she says that America have like 1,700 nuclear weapons, and then Russia have also got like 1,700 nuclear weapons, but we used to, back in the 1960s, we as a like worldwide, we had like 70,000 nuclear weapons, and now we only have like 5,000 or 10,000 or something like that, which is huge progress. But still, she said that you only need like one nuclear weapon to basically wipe out the human race. And so she talks about like in detail what would happen, like step by step, minute by minute, in the scenario that nuclear war eventuated. And so it was literally the most riveting interview I can ever remember listening to. And she's such a deeply impressive woman, Annie Jacobsen. And so, yeah, she talked about how Albert Einstein once was asked, what weapons will World War III be fought with? And he said, I know not what weapons World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. So, in other words, he's saying like, well, if there is a World War III, we will wipe everything out. And we'll have to start again, basically. Thank you for getting ready with me for church today. You're beautiful. You're perfect. I love you. God bless you. If you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.